Welcome to Empowered by AI, the podcast for women entrepreneurs ready to harness AI to take their businesses to the next level. I'm your host, Michelle Muncie Silva, founder of Innovative AI Studios. You may have left corporate life to start this entrepreneurial journey, but you don't have to go it alone. Here, you'll find a supportive community of like-minded women and an invaluable thought partner each week, as my guests and I share actionable insights you can use right away. So let's dive in together.
Life is going on right now.
Whether we're ready for it or not.
I have a new community starting. I'm going to be leaving town to speak somewhere next week. Haven't packed a thing. And let's see what else. Oh, and I sell real estate. Okay.
You have extra time in the day that no one else has.
Absolutely. Time is fluid. It's fluid with me. Yes.
What you are doing is so amazing.
Thank you. Who would ever thunk it?
I want to introduce you to our friends because the first time I ever saw you was AI Festivus.
Okay.
So December.
Yep.
And you shared about AI enhanced video making, shared your amazing music video.
Okay. Yep.
And ever since then, I've been following you. So now I get to get all up personal.
Yes, you do. You get all to yourself.
Oh my
Right now.
goodness. So Kimberly, Offord, would you please
Mhm.
share a little bit with our friends about what got you started in this world that you are mastering?
Believe it or not, what got me started is I am a realtor. So let me just say this. I've been a marketer my entire career. That is my background, marketing and advertising. So I've always been in a creative type of atmosphere as well as entrepreneurial atmosphere. I started selling real estate back in, I don't even know, 2007, I believe it was. And I became a managing broker. When AI started getting popular, which was around the pandemic or so, I was managing agents and I always trying to find new ways to help my agents to brand themselves, to market themselves, to figure out what their unique value proposition was and how could they utilize that to talk to their target markets and to get listings and to get buyers and just show value. And started with I have a good friend of mine who is like an AI guru in the real estate industry and with entrepreneurs. It's Marky Lemons Rao. And Marky was like, girl, she texted me one night, said, girl, you got to get on this right here. And it was Chat GPT. Almost the same as you.
Right? And somebody grabbed us.
Oh my God. And it was it was just to the moon from then. And what I started out with was, again, branding, marketing, showing entrepreneurs how to brand themselves, which naturally progressed into the image and video creation because I was showing realtors and entrepreneurs how to create social media videos to market themselves, B-roll video to market themselves. And as I started playing with Midjourney, and at the time, Runway had just come out, when I started playing with them, it was like, wait, I'm getting into something else here. But it became more so a creative outlet for me at that time. Yeah, that's how it all got started.
Isn't it amazing how it just snowballs for
It is.
individuals, right?
It does, because the AI doesn't stop moving. And so
Oh God,
you're
no.
constantly
Yeah.
trying to catch up with it.
Can you tell us a little bit about the vision behind Playground Pastime? Because that
Sure.
seems to be this just
The
absolutely
brand,
huge
yeah.
endeavor.
Oh gosh, where do I start? So as I started working with Midjourney, I started realizing I could do some world building here. I can create images in the fashion of images that I see and that I would like to see. And I've always been a sci-fi junkie, a Trekkie, and as I was growing up. And so loved science fiction, love anything science fiction that comes on TV, dystopian, anything. I love all of that. And so I started creating a lot of images in what I would call retro Afrofuturism. And I wanted to see images that look like me, but were projected into a future or a time that was fluid. And I pulled a little bit of my childhood in there too, of images that I wanted to see as a kid. And I just made it this world that I called Playground Pastime, like going off into the playground and just playing and just being free and seeing what you wanted to see. And that's what we did as kids. Oh my God, we could play all day, as I've seen a lot of people say, with a stick and a
Yep.
can or a rock or just a flower pot with mud in it. We'd have a great time. And it was that imagination. And so that playground pastime is what I thought about when when you're playing on that playground and you're just thinking, you're just imagining and nothing is confining you. And so that's how that brand started. And then it just branched off into a lot of other things because everything now that I do creatively, I put under that banner of Playground Pastime.
Oh, that feeds my soul.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that. You just touched on all the nostalgia of that creativity that
Mhm.
I think a lot of us let go of
Yeah.
because we feel like we have to. We were told by well-meaning individuals that
Mhm.
independence meant a different type of work. And so it's almost this reconnecting with a person that we really believed was possible when we were very young.
And here's the thing about it. When you do that and you put it out there, you find yourself connecting with other people who are also looking for that connection or lost that connection or forgot about that connection. Because as I kept putting images out there, and at first it was just, hey, this was something cool that I did. Let me put it out there. More and more people were commenting and saying, why am I feeling a way about this? As I look at this, why is this touching me in whatever kind of way? And that's when I realized I was like, you know what? A lot of others need to revert back every now and then and just see things that they wish they could have seen or whatever. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's like you said, it's touching the soul.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. I love the fact that you're also honoring in that same space, you're honoring the fact that there's still work to do. That
Yes.
you said in a recent post, you wrote that AI doesn't quite see us yet, not fully, not
Oh,
100%.
mhm.
What kinds of stereotypes, omissions
Yeah.
have you seen most often in AI imagery, and how are you actively pushing against that?
Jeez. So this is very interesting because when Midjourney 7 came out, we know that there were improvements to the imagery and all of that. But what a lot of creators that I've talked to, and we've all shared the similar problem, is that when you're creating images of color, what it does, and this is what a lot of the technology does, it takes a one general image and it just puts a tan on it.
Mm.
And what we know is that while VO3 came out and everybody was talking really great and everything looks really real. But the one thing that I know that some of the AI platforms are not getting is the difference in sizes. We're not all thin. The average American woman wears a size 16 or it's very difficult to prompt a larger size person without it looking comical. I've been able to do it, but it's very difficult to do it. It's very difficult. Try prompting a disabled person. Try prompting an accurate depiction of a wheelchair or any other types of walking aids. And the reality of it is that is who we are. It's more. So when you think about underrepresentation, yes, there's definitely some missteps there when it comes to creating people of color, African American people, Hispanic people, Asian people. But there's also a disparity in creating people who are just different. So it gets it right when it comes to details of skin, when it pores, seeing pores and
Right.
that type of stuff, or we complain about the fingers that sometimes
Yes.
sometimes there's six fingers, or sometimes there's not enough fingers, or
Don't make me animate a hand, please.
yeah, or animate someone actually holding something and having to work with whatever that is that they're holding, like a pen or a hammer or whatever. But there's very simple things that it just doesn't get right. And sometimes what happens is that it puts a stereotypical swing on some of those images. And that's some of the things that it's just not getting right. Now, what am I doing to change that? I am leaning a lot into educating others on how to prompt to get the images that they want to get. I think that's one thing that we can do. But the other thing is that I encourage everyone that I run into who talks about having these issues is to get in these creative partner programs. And once you're in those creative partner programs, you have that direct hit to say to some of the representatives or some of the people who represent these companies that, hey, you're not getting it right when it comes to this. What can you all do to do this differently? And then the other way is just encouraging more people who are different, who want to create different images, they're not that mainstream creator, to just create more and let people see what you're doing. Because this is a great equalizer, to be honest. This is the opportunity for those who don't normally see what they want to see to put it out there. I always say, prompt what you want to see. You have that power.
And do you think it's more directing than it is coding? Because I know a lot of people get intimidated by that term prompt engineering. They
Mhm.
get intimidated and think, okay, I need to really understand the tech behind this in order to get the image I want. Do you
Yeah.
think that holds true? Should people allow that to intimidate them?
I think that a lot of people were intimidated by Midjourney especially when it was on when it was still on Discord, but when it was solely on Discord, a lot of people told me that they started and they got intimidated. They didn't understand it. It was just a different language and couldn't get it, and they just let go of it. So when Midjourney moved to Midjourney Alpha, it made it a little bit easier because a lot of things are touch and click or dial and click or whatever. But the one thing that I do emphasize all the time is let's try to learn it. It's a little hard at first, but once you get it, you can move with it. To your question, I think that if you're working with platforms like Midjourneys, and Midjourney is trying a little bit to get more language type model, conversational, but a lot of the others are not. They're not as heavy on the technical prompting. They're more so in the conversational role. And that's why a lot of people love ChatGPT. When ChatGPT came out with their image and video models, because it's more conversational. But prompting is still important. It's still important to learn it because it will give you that advantage.
And allow
Yeah.
you to share something that might not be there yet because
Yeah.
of your unique perspective, your unique
Mhm.
vision.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
your AI film Tunnels was
Okay.
that was how I got introduced to you. That became the official music video for a Grammy-nominated artist.
I know. I to this I'm still what in the world? Yeah.
Amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing, and it's an absolutely beautiful collaboration. Can
Mm,
you share how that came about? What was your creative process like for that piece?
for sure. You know something? That collaboration is a lesson, and you do not have to go viral, nor do you have to have a million followers to get found. All you need is that one right person to find you or to just so happen the algorithm send your stuff their way. And then it's whoa. And so what happened was that some kind of way or another, one of my videos came across Layla's algorithm and she commented on it and said she loved it, whatever. And then after that, I guess maybe the videos kept falling in her algorithm and she would still comment, whatever. And I'm sitting there, is this really who I think it is? I'm thinking I'm getting catfished or something.
Lalah Hathaway, what?
Yeah, like I'm getting punked. I'm like, okay, wait a minute. And so bottom line, long story short, she came out with a new album. There were a couple of songs on the album that I really sincerely like. A lot of my stuff is music driven. And so if something comes up that I like, I'll create images and create a video to it to tell the story of what I see that song is. And so I did that to one of her songs on that new album. And she sent me a message and said, okay, we might need to do this for real. And I got an instant message, private message from her, said, hey, let me get your phone number. I want my manager to call you. And I'm like, whoa. And I'm still thinking I'm getting catfished, right? Michelle, I'm still like, oh,
I'm giving you my flip phone number.
I'm thinking this is somebody who's going to be behind the curtains like the wizard. Like, it's not going to be that person. Then cut the chase. Basically said, this is the song I want you to do a video for. Gave me like 3 words of how she wanted this video to be. And basically they told me, run with it, do what you do. And what you see now is not the original video. So we went through a few edits and finally got it to where what her vision was. And and then that was that. But I did that video back in, I think I was done with that video around September, October.
Okay.
And it actually premiered in November.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are in May, and look how far AI has come since November.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I look back at that video and I'm like, I'm really impressed with what I was able to do then with that video. And it took a lot. And it took a lot to get that video the way that it was. But I look at AI now and I'm like, wow, what could I have done with that video now? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm still in contact with Lalah, and it's like when you find that one person that you're vibing with, it's like creatively, it's okay. What you want to do next?
Exactly. Next song.
Yep.
And what reactions have you received from either the music community, the film community about using AI in that way? Because your work is so authentic. It's alive. It is so gorgeously you.
Thank you. Thank you. You know what? I've gotten every now and then you'll get someone that'll comment on it and say, hey, AI is not real. You're not doing that's not imaginative. And I just delete them and keep going. But the majority of the feedback that I have gotten, because I actually did something for another Grammy artist after Lalah, has been very good. It has been very good because if you think about it, a lot of these music artists, especially, they're looking for something new, something fresh, something that complements what, they do or complement their brand. And whether we like it or not, AI is here. And I look at it not as a replacement, but as a tool to enhance what others are already doing. And so the reception has been really good. And I'm pleased about that. As a matter of fact, one of the sponsors we'll talk about that probably later. One of the sponsors of my AI film contest is an entertainment company that a distributor, Code Black Entertainment, that understands this is where we are, but also understands that let's use the AI to introduce audiences to things that we can bring in actors for on the after part of it, produce into larger films. So it's been pretty good. Yeah.
I love that concept of AI as almost like the appetizer.
Yeah.
Is that kind of the sentiment
Yep.
behind that?
Yeah. That's what I'm getting from some. It's like AI is the appetizer to create short stories that lead into other larger things. Because think about it, with social media, a lot of the content creators who have gone viral or who are really making it big right now, they started off with smaller versions of that content. And that's how they're looking at AI. At least this company is. That's how they're looking at AI. Now others are going full out. But
yeah. God, that's fascinating. That's a fascinating concept. Ooh.
Or maybe even incorporating them into one another. I've even heard of concepts of part of different content being AI merging in with the real world. It's fascinating.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm gonna geek out about that. I'm gonna sit and stay with that for a minute, but that's okay. That's all right. For the purpose of our conversation, I will behave myself.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm in good company for that, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my goodness. And you have not only you're not satisfied with running your own production company. Now you're opening it up to all these other creators because you have a Playground Pastime AI film contest
Yep.
that I would argue is not only bold but needed.
Yeah.
This kind of space that you're providing for original
Yeah.
content in AI. I love that you're doing this. Was it your intention for the contest originally to just open up that space? What kind of stories are you seeing emerging
Yeah.
from the entries?
Yeah. So when I saw other contests that were going on and contests that I was interested in getting into, I feared that my content or my videos would get lost in the shuffle of all of the other videos that were highly graphic, meaning they were really like all the bells and whistles were thrown in with these teams of 6 or 7 people putting these videos together who are going to just drown out my story, my very simple but compassionate or touching or whatever story. And so I didn't engage in those contests because I didn't feel like it was for me. I wouldn't have felt seen in those
Mhm.
contests. And so that's what made me say, you know what? I'm the only one who feels that way because I know a ton of creators that I follow on Instagram and we may have talked to each other and they'll say, no, I didn't really enter the contest. I didn't do whatever, or they just didn't enter for whatever reasons. And so that's why I wanted to do the AI film contest with Playground Pastime because I wanted to create an environment where everybody could feel that they could tell their story, whatever that story was, not have to worry about being drowned out by 10,000 other entries from teams and they're putting these great things together and, what have you, but focusing on storytelling, but focusing on storytelling of either underrepresented creators or stories. And oh my God, the entries that we have gotten, there have been some where we just laughed and because it was just hilarious. But then there have been some that that, wow, told stories. We got entries from all over the world, basically, for this contest. And just, I was speechless, to be honest. I was humbled and speechless, but it's just so interesting how many people came to me that I've talked to online or on LinkedIn or whatever, and they've said, I'm going to enter because I just really want to tell this story about, and then it would be a family member or the story about that I've always wanted to tell about immigration and migrating to a different country or whatever. And I just said, welcome, come on. Tell it. Let's see it. Let's see it. The only thing I hate, Michelle, is that I couldn't give everybody an award. I
Right.
really hate that because anytime anyone puts their story out, they're bearing a part of them.
Yeah.
They're letting that baby out. They're letting out stuff. For some people, they're letting out a secret or they're letting out whatever it is. And that is huge for anyone. And I wish I could give everybody an award. We can't do that. But we can give everybody a voice to be
I
seen.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. I
Yeah.
love that. And I think that by you modeling that, it's such a needed opportunity for people to feel that this is a safe space for them to share that
Yeah.
secret, that moment, that experience. What
Mhm.
do you hope that attendees take away from the June 5th viewing party?
That they can be seen, that they're valuable, that their voice is valuable, that you don't have to have a team of 10 really technical and experienced Academy Award producers to put together a great video with AI that can touch people and that can tell a story. I want them to come away from that contest knowing that it's a that even if that is not my story, it's still important that I hear it. It's still valuable that I hear that person's point of view. So yeah. and that there's going to be more contests that they can get in.
And if someone, that's one of the things I wanted to touch on with you, is that if someone's catching this episode after the event,
Mhm.
can people still support the creators that participated? Will there be a site? Is there something that they can connect with?
Yeah. Yeah. So all of the creators that are going to, first of all, the viewing party, we're going to have that viewing party live stream on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And we're going to have snippets of each part of that viewing party are going to live right there on YouTube. And so what we're also going to do is to set up something where you can click on the links to go support those particular creators who put something into the contest. And then we're going to be showcasing them, the winner of the contest, as well as 6 of the runner ups are going to be featured in She Is AI magazine. So that's one great thing right there, is that they will get that spotlight as well.
That's
Yep.
absolutely fantastic. And how do you think creators can help? Because you've talked about that diversity in AI, it's not just about who gets to use it, but who gets seen by them, right? It's how can creators help AI learn to see us all more honestly so that they do feel empowered to share versions that they feel truly represent themselves?
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, Michelle. That is still an obstacle that I am trying to jump over myself, because the AIs, they have learning model, training models and learning models that they pattern themselves after. And so that's one of the things that I have struggled with. And that's why I've been reaching out whenever I can as a creative partner to say, hey, this is not what, this doesn't see me. How can I help you all to help it? Because I'm not training it. I'm working with it. And what I do, like with Midjourney, you know how you can train your own personalization code and all that other great stuff. Yeah, you could do that. But if I just go into some of these and I just say, hey, give me an African American woman walking down the street, I guarantee you right now, Midjourney 7 is going to be the same woman every single time. We might get a little few variations. I might get a few variations. What was even more, I will share this with you. This is the first time I've shared this. I shared this with my group because as I was training, this happened. And it was like, wow. And it was so interesting because it was everyone that was in my training was like, whoa. I did a prompt in Midjourney. I was showing them how to use the new parameters in Midjourney. And I created a prompt, and it involved an African American woman. And I just kept getting the same woman. And this was happening in real time. It was perfect, actually. And then I said, let me put on the weird setting. And I don't know if you're familiar with the weird setting in Midjourney. And
Yeah.
put on the weird setting, you're supposed to get different, but supposed to get a little, I don't know what's the word I want to use for it. I sometimes use, it gets a little funky,
Okay. A little outside the
quirky,
box.
little outside the box. I put weird on, and all of a sudden, I got an African American woman who was slightly overweight. And then it was like 3 or 4 different African American women. And I said, so I have to turn on weird in order to get a different type of African American woman? And everyone is like, people were coming off of mute and they were like, whoa, that's messed up. And it was like,
Yeah.
let's dial it up some more. Let's see what we get. And the more I dialed up weird, the more I got different images of African American people. And it was just like, wow, why would I be categorized as weird? That's interesting. And so that just goes back to your question, what can we do? Just, I would say, make these developers and those who are involved with these platforms aware of what's
Yeah.
happening.
Exactly. This is the lived experience of an
Yeah.
entire group of people.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. And I have another very good friend. We've met online. We met on Instagram. We've never met in person, which is the beauty of all of this. And she's Asian American. And she told me, she said, because I thought I was the only one. I thought it was just a issue with me. And she said, no. She said, every time I would prompt for an Asian woman, she said she'd always get a geisha. And I'm like, really? And she said it got so bad. So there was this one platform in particular. She sent them notes, she sent them emails, and they ended up giving her like free few months because they couldn't figure out what was going on or whatever. But I was like, okay, come on, guys.
Yeah. How can we not make this better already?
Well, yeah. So just
And
keep on.
that's what I was just gonna ask you. It's like that just keep up. The idea is like, what is your advice for marginalized creators
Mhm.
who want to enter this AI space but feel hesitant? Maybe they've had some of these experiences, they're unsure
Yeah.
how to
I would
work around it.
I would say enter anyway. I would say do it anyway because somebody has to do it and somebody has to figure it out. And it's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's just going to take a little bit more and then expose others. And that's what I do all the time. Like I sit here till all hours of the night trying to get one image a certain way. And when I do finally get it, it's yes. And I'm posting that. And I'm putting that out there in the atmosphere for others to see that you can do this. We can do this. This is the great equalizer. It really is. And this is our opportunity to show the images that we want to see and that you want to see, or anybody wants to see, or anybody deserves to see, or needs to see. And all we got to do is just do it. It's
Yeah.
all the power is in our hands.
Yeah. And you're clearly building more than art, right? You're building community. You're
Mhm.
building a shared vocabulary, I would argue,
Yeah.
and legacy, I think,
Yeah.
if that's fair to say. What do you want your work to teach the next generation of
Oh,
AI
wow.
artists? No pressure.
Oh, no, no pressure at all. I would say don't allow yourself to have limitations. If you can think it, now we're at a point where if you can imagine it, you can create it. And I think that's what fuels me. It's because there are so many different things. Like I know how to play the piano, I know how to read music, but I'm not a great musician, right? But I love music. And there's nothing worse than having a melody in your head and not being able to play it. That's a very technical thing to play a piano, right? Same thing as art. I collect art. I can't paint a lick. Okay. Don't ask me to paint anything. I
Color
can't
by
paint
number?
not
No?
even my nails. Okay. I can't even paint my nails without going all over my thumb. And what is going on here? There's nothing worse than to have a vision of something artistic in your brain, but you can't paint it. That's why prompting is so important because if I have this vision in my mind, I can now prompt this AI to create that. And so that's what I would encourage. And I don't care how old you are, I don't care how young you are, just do it and just put it out there. You never know, who you're going to touch with that. And to be honest with you, who knows where AI is going to be with that next generation? Who knows?
Yeah.
It's I can't even imagine.
That's what's so energizing is like you're not just prompting for right now, you're prompting for possibilities that are going to ripple effect into the future because I'm looking at literally this is I always say this so my listeners are going to be like god Michelle get a new phrase but it's AI is like dog years, right? It's this is
Say that too.
yes. It's since I've seen you at AI Festivus, right?
Yes.
It's like there have
Yeah.
been so many leaps I can't even tell you. And so it's like when I see that image that you created at that moment, it's only going to inspire me to play just that much more intensely with what's available now because how you made
Mhm.
that back in when this was possible and now this is possible.
Let me tell you, Michelle, I have gone back and pulled up the first photorealistic images that I did and then put those same prompts and and use them as image references into Midjourney to just see what would happen. And so now I don't even really have to create anything new. I'm going back and pulling some of that old good stuff and putting it in now. And that's whoa. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I say that too, that AI it's like dog year. It's the worst what it'll ever be today because
Right.
tomorrow it's going to be even better.
Yeah. Yeah. And it could very literally be tomorrow. And we're not just saying that figuratively.
Absolutely.
So I want people to connect with you because I just want to the energy that I feel from you, the energy that I feel selfish almost having the conversation because you're going to extend me through my weekend. But it's just like, where can people connect with you to explore Playground Pastime, view your amazing films, your
Yep.
visuals? Where are they going to get you?
I am on all social media platforms. I'm on Instagram under my name, Kimberly Offord, and under Playground Pastime. And they can always go to my website, which is playgroundpastime.ai. They can find me there. And there's I have my portfolio there, and I have some links to some of my other videos that are there. And you can find me on LinkedIn as well to follow up with me or to reach out or to see what am I doing or join one of my communities or what have you.
Yeah. So let's give a minute for you to have some space with that. What is next for you?
Oh, goodness.
You want to narrow it down a little bit?
No, and what is next for me? We're going to do a second round of the Playground Pastime AI film contest this year. We're going to do a second round in August. And we're going to take that into the end of the year. And we're talking right now with having that being the culmination of that being a live viewing at a theater somewhere, probably possibly here in Chicago. So that's what's coming down the line for Playground. And then in 2026, I'll just say this. If you put the URL Chicago AI Film Festival in your thing, in your up top there, in your search engine, it'll come right back to someone that I know.
Oh
So,
my goodness.
so we're growing, expanding, and I'm really excited about that because I want to include a broader community. And then I got a couple of other things up my sleeve that I'm doing with that. And I have been working with someone, and I won't tell too much of it, but in terms of turning some of my creations into actual series. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll see.
Oh, this is so exciting. I am going to follow your work. I'm waiting with bated breath.
I I appreciate it. Me too.
I can't wait to see what happens either.
I know. It's like that is the hardest thing for some people, and maybe we'll leave with this thought, is you hear all the time people say, just go with the ride, just ride the wave. Don't try to force anything. Just go. And whatever anyone's spiritual beliefs are, just put it out there in the atmosphere and then just go for it and just ride the wave and just watch. Just look out the window and watch what happens. And that's what I'm doing right now. And that's been the hardest thing to do, is to let go and to just ride with it and just see what happens next and see who comes to you and see who's impressed and this, that, and the third. And it's just gravitating and I want to help because I believe in this. And it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. So I would just say, with all this AI that's changing and moving, just let's ride with it and see what happens.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Sage advice
Yeah.
from an amazing artist.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to Empowered by AI. If today's episode sparked ideas, don't wait. Follow the link in the show notes to visit innovativeaistudio.com and download your free resource, created to help you put today's insights into practice. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes packed with more tips, tools, and inspiring stories. Until next time, stay empowered and keep innovating.